So hello guys, so today's problem of the day, that is uh, shortest common supersequence. Okay, so it's the problem. So it's a very famous problem and very basically asked problem in interview. Okay, so basically it is related to longest common subsequence problem, that is basically the medium problem. Okay, so let's do. So what we have to do, basically we have given an string 1 and string 2, and we have to return the shortest string that has both string 1 and string 2 as subsequences. Okay, and if there are multiple valid strings, then we have to return any of them. Okay, so it will be simply multiple answers. Okay, so here's the example, that is input string, that is string 1 and string 2. Okay, and we have the output this. Okay, so let's just understand the question in detail. Okay, so what the question is saying, that I have taken this two string. Okay, then what we have to do, basically we have to return the super sequence. Okay, so what is super sequence? Super sequence is a string in which these both are the subsequences of the string. If you think of that, then simply if we add both, okay, like this, then simply it would be a super sequence of these strings. Okay, this would be the simply super sequence of these two. Okay, so what we will do, but we have to return the shortest. Okay, shortest common supersequence. Okay, so if we write the length, okay, of this, then simply the length is equals to this. If we write 3 to 5, that is 10. Okay, so if we see what will the shortest super subsequence. Okay, so let's just check. Okay, so if I just tell you, then if you see that let's just take it. Okay, so if you see that this is not the shortest common supersequence. Why? Because it has this r and r double time, so we can simply use it once, and it's h also. Okay, this h and this h is double times. Okay, so simply if we write the shortest common supersequence, then simply what let's just okay, so it would simply be this r. Okay, we can simply take r once. Okay, and then we can simply say a h u l and o, then I, then t. Okay, so if we see that this is the shortest common supersequence that will form, from where we can simply form Rahul and Rohit, these two words. Okay, so if you see that this is Rahul and this is Rohit, R-O-H-I-T. Okay, so both basically these are possible by this. So it is basically its length is, if I write the length, so simply its length is that 538. Okay, so simply its length is 8. So if you see carefully that we have first formed this. Okay, let's just take this. First we have formed this and its length was 10. Okay, then after we have made the shortest common supersequence, and then the length becomes 8. So what we have removed, basically these two r's are basically double and these two h are double. Okay, so we have just removed two rh. Okay, so we have removed, if I write removed this rh. Okay, so this is the basically removed from the first. Okay, so if you see, this is the removed string from the first. Okay, so from this, okay, from this we have removed one r and one h, basically so to become shortest common supersequence. And if you basically see these two strings, the longest, basically if you just take the common sequences from these string. Okay, let's just take, so this is Rahul, this is Rohit. So if we calculate total basically okay, so if we calculate the common subsequences, let's just first calculate the common subsequences. So the common LCS, basically that is say a longest common subsequence in both are R and T. Okay, so R and T are the two letters that are simply longest common subsequence, that this is R and this is R, have both basically both the strings have both R, then we will simply take one R, and both the oh, I have just written this wrong, this should be not H. Okay, so simply let's just take, okay, so simply R and H are twice in both, basically if we say in both, basically R and H are both, so simply we will take once. So the longest common subsequence is RH. So what we have done, basically remove this, okay. So if we go on the, if we analyze this, so simply our thing is that if we take the length, okay, length of this first string, let's just take its P, and length of the second string, that is Q. So if we add these and minus the LCS part, okay, the lowest common subsequence, then it will simply give the length of, okay, length of shortest supersequence, okay, supersequence, okay, that the shortest common supersequence, okay. Just ignore the spellings, okay. So you got the thing. What we have to do, if you see the question, okay, so what we have to do, basically simply we have to just take the length from these two, okay, and then subtract the LCS, that is lowest common subsequence, from both, and simply it will simply return the length of shortest supersequence, okay. So this is basically what the this means, okay. So how we will calculate the LCS? LCS is the basically is another problem in Leetcode. This is lowest common subsequence, in which we find lowest common subsequence from the two strings. So using basically DP table, I will tell you how. Let's just calculate the DP table. Okay, let's just make the DP table. So I have created this DP table, and I have also write the logic, basically how we will calculate the length of basically this common subsequences, okay. So how this DP table would work, let's just write, okay, just say, okay. So it will simply check, okay, what it will simply check, it will simply check if this R matches with this R, okay. So it matches, so I have written this. If the string characters matches, we have to just add the 1 to this previous element, that is 0. Simply we will write here 1, okay. So simply we will write here 1. Then what we will do, then again we will check if this R matches with A, no. So it will simply, what we will do, we will, if not, we will simply max out, we will check calculate the max of this and this, okay. If I just see, we will simply calculate the max of this and this, okay. So simply we will write 1, okay. So same, it will simply write 1 in all this, okay. Okay, so for then for next, okay, so if I just, okay, so for next, this O matches with R, no. So simply we will write here 0, okay. So if O matches with A, no. So basically what we have to do, this not, we just have to max the value, okay. So we will simply write 1, okay, because the maximum of 0 and 1 is 1. So maximum, so simply it will simply write 1, and it will simply write 1, it will simply write 1, it will simply write 1, because O is not matching with any of this, okay. So simply then for H it will come, for H matches with R, no. So it will simply write 1, max of these two previous, okay. So H is matching with A, no. It is simply write max of this, okay. So it will simply match, it will simply see if H matches with H, yeah, H matches, so simply it will add 1 to its this, if I just write. So H is matching with this H, so simply it will add 1 to this, okay. So simply what will here, it will simply give 2, okay. So then it will simply calculate the H is not matching with you, it will simply give max value, okay. And then simply for here also max value, and simply for here it will simply give 1, because these two 0 and max of 0 and 1 is 1, and it will simply give here 1, and it will simply give here 2, and it will simply give here 2, and it will simply give 2, because this not are matching, okay. So simply here also it will simply give 1, simply give 1, it simply give 2, and it will simply give 2, and it will simply give 2. So this is the whole DP table that I have basically created, okay. So you got the thing how this DP table is formed. So I have written this if and else condition. So we from this we will get the length of the common subsequences, okay. And from this we can basically get the we can also print the length of the basically common sequence. Okay, but what we have to do, basically we have to just every time when we have to basically find the super sequence. Okay, we have to just remove the length of common subsequence. Okay, so how we will use calculate using this. Okay, so let's see. So what we will do, we will just at last, okay, just from bottom up. So this approach is known as bottom approach. We will simply move from bottom up. Okay, so let's just see. If this is 2, okay, so this is 2, it will simply check, we will simply check if this T matches with L. No, it is not matching. So simply this 2 has come from only 2 things. Okay, that is from here or here. Okay, so simply we can say we can use this also. Okay, so let's just remove this. Okay, so we can simply check, choose this 2. Okay, so simply from there here, then when this will go here, then simply this T will be removed, then only the string remaining would be this and this whole and this ROHI. Okay, so T will be removed. Simply we will add this T in our this, okay, common super sequence. Okay, then in our answer, or you can say, okay, then after this 2 we will move from this 2 would have come from this 2 or this 2. So simply we would move, we can move anywhere. Okay, simply we can move this. Okay. So simply this time what will be the answer? If I say, then only the remaining are this ROH and this whole. Okay, simply we can write here, we have removed I, then simply we will add I here. Then what we will do, we will simply check if this 2 comes from here or here. Okay, first we will check if this H matches with L. No, so simply we can come here. Okay, so we can simply write L also. Okay, and then simply what we'll do, we will simply just this we have written. Okay, so simply it will again check H matches with U. No, so simply it will check from where it is come. So simply it will move to here, or you can simply here. So it will simply be here, you can say. Okay, so let's just write here. So we have just removed U, so it will simply update this value with U. Then the H matches with H. Okay, so simply it will go here this time. Okay, it will move here. Okay, so simply it will only add 1. Let's just time 1 H. Okay, it will not add both H. Okay, so simply then we will be here. Let's just write me. Okay, so simply we would be here. So simply our remaining are this RA and RO. Okay, so simply we would be here. Then we will simply match O matches with A. No, so simply we would see from where is 1 is coming. So simply we can say we can move here or there, anywhere. Okay, so simply we will write, we have just removed O. Okay, so the new you can say our remaining are only these 2. Okay, and this R. Okay, so simply it will simply see R is matching with A. No, so R is not matching with A. So simply we will remove, basically add A, and we will move here. So say here. Okay, so this time it will see R is matching with R, then it will simply move to this, and this time R will match with R. So simply we will add. Let's just delete it. Let's just write. Okay, so simply we will just write R once. Okay, so if you see that we have just generated a, okay, so if you see we can simply generate Rohit with it, Rahul with it. Okay, so it is the super sequence that we got. Okay, so we got the answer. So one thing it is basically in this we have come here. If we see that let's just take it. Okay, so we have come here, or if there would be many possible basically string in which we can come here or we can come here. So after this whole loop we can simply use this while I is greater than 0, basically remaining we can simply add them to answer. Okay, answer plus equals to S of I. Okay, so simply we can add them, and for j also we can simply write this condition. So simply if the characters that are remaining could be written. Okay, so like if we come here, end up here, and the remaining are these, simply we can add them also. Okay, so you got the thing how this whole thing will work. Okay, so I will provide you the code, and also I will just explain you the code in Leetcode also. Okay, with the basically how we have just used it. Okay, so this was the code. Okay, so here's the code for this. I have written it. So this is the LCS part. Okay, so first we are forming the DP array. So how we will form it? We will simply first row will be simply 0 0, and second this j column would be simply 0 0. Then we are simply from 1. We are checking if the string is equals to the basically other character is equals to the next character. Then simply we will add 1 plus previous. Okay, DP in array, and else if it's not equal, then simply we will add the max value. Okay, for this we have just basically add the string. Okay, you can say simply this will form the super sequence. Okay, string answer. Okay, so this is the we have taken the string answer, and we have simply it will store the answer, basically super sequence that will form. We will simply iterate through the loop while I is greater than 0 and j, basically from bottom approach. Okay, so simply if the string is equals to the, then simply we will add the only one. Okay, so from both we can, and we will simply move both. And then if the basically if the value is greater than the basically if the or you can say if the value is greater than the that we have seen that 1 is greater than the 2, then simply we will move I minus 1, and the less basically in other thing we will simply move j minus minus. Okay, if it is smaller than. Okay, then simply we will use the remaining, basically if there is with some remaining characters. Okay, then it will simply add these two loops. Okay, it will simply add. Why we are reversing? Basically this will give the reverse string. Okay, so simply at last we will reverse this, return the answer. You can simply run it, and this will simply give the answer. Okay, so here's the code. Okay, so let's just end it.